The restaurant manager says in response to requests from our patrons for vegetarian main dishes, we recently introduced 3: an eggplant and zucchini casserole with tomatoes, brown rice with mushrooms, and potatoes baked with cheese. The first 2 are frequently ordered, but no one orders the potato dish, although it costs less than the other 2. Clearly then, our patrons prefer not to eat potatoes.
Excellent. What is our conclusion?
Clearly then, our patrons prefer not to eat tomatoes or potatoes.
And what is our reasoning here?
That just because nobody orders it, they don't like potatoes.
Yeah, and it's less. They're like, no, the first 2 people order all the time, but no one orders the potato dish, even though it's cheaper. So then clearly people don't like to eat potatoes. What was your prediction here, Jess Bulling?
So I said in my head, well, what if these people are also vegan and it's because of the cheese that they don't eat?
Ooh, I like that. Dish. Mine was like, I like potatoes, but the other option was steak, and the other one was another steak, and I'm going to pick one of those over the potato dish. Oh, but there's eggplant and zucchini. But I'm like, that's what it comes with. But you're absolutely right with potatoes and baked with cheese.
So I basically said there was just, what if it was the other thing that caused it? Not
the vegetarian. My prediction was so bad for it's even vegetarian.
Yeah, because it's vegetarian. So.
Yeah, I'm just thinking but what I was getting at was like, there's something else I just like more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just because this isn't necessarily the flaw here specifically, but this is another one of my favorite flaws: relative versus absolute. Does anybody remember this definition? Jessica Gluck, do you? What is a relative versus absolute flaw?
It's
one of my favorites. Don't disappoint me. I'm just kidding.
I can't like enunciate it out loud, but I know what it is when I can identify it. I guess like what's true of something doesn't mean it's true of everything. Maybe
Does
that's
anybody else know?
You can give it a try.
Go for it, Malika.
It's like saying that I'm saying that I'm the tallest in my family or something, that like I'm taller than you, Nicole, or something like that.
Okay, super close. It would be like saying I'm the tallest in my family, therefore I'm tall.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Just because something is relative to something else doesn't mean that thing isn't, or just because something is less than something else just doesn't mean that you're not that. So, for example, just because your LSAT score might be lower than someone else's, that doesn't mean that you're not smart, right? Like, exactly. Or vice versa. Just because your LSAT score is higher than someone else, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're smart. And so with this, just because I like something, these people like something else other than the potatoes, doesn't mean that we don't like the potatoes. We just might relatively like those other things more. You see this all the time. You especially see this on wrong answer choices and strengthen and weaken questions. FYI. Well, sorry, those are nitty-gritty details. Anyways, let's go on. Why is A wrong? I threw out some people to do these. Who did I assign A to?
It was me.
How I guess appropriate, since you are you know that.
Yeah, so for A, well, it says like it's concluding that 2 things that occur at the same time have a common cause, but like nowhere in the premise it was talking about like a causal relationship.
Yes. What kind of flaw is this, Malika?
It's like a causal correlational one.
Yep, it's correlation causation. So it's concluding that 2 things occur at the same time. So just because one thing's going up, the other thing's going up, something else must be causing both of those. We don't do that at all. Excellent. All right, what about B?
Okay, I have B. Drawing a conclusion that is inconsistent with one premise of the argument. So since the conclusion is that they've determined that their patients prefer not to eat potatoes, there is absolutely no proof in any of the premises that just because you don't order potatoes, then you clearly don't like it, when there could be a plethora of reasons as to why you choose not to order potatoes, although you can be vegetarian.
Okay.
And
oh, sorry.
No, you, please continue.
Oh no, you're along the right lines about it not addressing the right flaw. But I'm gonna
Okay.
ask you a specific question. What would this look like if this were the right answer? How could we change? And everybody think about this. How could we change our, like, what would our stimulus have to be doing for this to be the right answer? And if you don't know it, Janice, that's totally fine. But I'll give you like
Okay.
20 seconds to think too, or you can pass
Okay.
it if you prefer.
No, I'd like to think.
I like that. She likes to think. Good.
Says they're into.
Oh wait, Jake, we're gonna let I don't mean to interrupt you, but we're gonna let Janice have a couple seconds and give her a chance, but then you can have the next question, Jake.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Well, perhaps in order for this to be right, I wonder if in the premises they could have said potatoes were not within a vegetarian option because they don't prefer, even vegetarians don't like potatoes.
So you're
as
super
much.
close, like, or not super close. I love your effort there. That's like I don't mean that badly at all, but
I don't take it badly. Thank you.
okay, good. Like, because like what I'm asking you to do is so backwards than what the test asks.
Okay.
But this is like the next phase of like really diving into flaws. Brittany, do you know what it would have to be doing for this to be the right answer?
I think, what if it said like no one orders the potatoes, but they cost more money than the other two? So
No,
maybe
okay,
like changing.
not necessarily. Does
I
anyone else have another thought on this of what it would have to be saying?
Wouldn't it just keep like the conclusion could be like clearly that our patrons prefer to eat potatoes? Like it's just,
Yeah, okay, you did
it's
the
inconsistent.
opposite. Yes. For more so what I was thinking was if more people ordered the potato dish and then our conclusion goes off to say people prefer not to eat potatoes. It's like you gave me a premise that's inconsistent with one of our. So do you see how that where our conclusion is inconsistent with one of our premises? Two things contradict.
Like a paradox?
Kind of like it, like yeah, like it would be like, well, but the thing with the paradox is that it could be where this is giving us a premise and our conclusion goes directly against it. So for example, this would be like me, this is the example I normally give. All cows are green. I want a cow, therefore I'm going to buy a blue cow. Well, if all cows are green, how can I buy a blue cow? Right? One of my premises is inconsistent with my conclusion. Typically, when this answer choice is correct, it happens whenever like people have an opinion on something or they state a fact and then they do something opposite of it. And it's like, okay, but this is inconsistent with what you said. All right, what about D? Or sorry, C. I don't remember who I assigned this one to. Oh, Krishna, are you still here?
Yes,
Do you know why C is wrong?
actually, I'm much into C and E both, but I like E as an answer
Yeah.
because C is saying that ignoring possible difference between what people say they want and what they actually choose.
Yeah.
But our conclusion is that our patrons prefer not to eat potatoes.
Right. And for this,
So
like we were ignoring possible differences between people, what people say they want and what they actually choose. Do we have any proof that we're ignoring that?
no, I don't.
I feel like for this answer choice to be correct, it would have to be like on some type of survey question.
Oh yeah.
Issue is like a survey bias where people are not like answering what they want or what they think and are like answering what do they think people want them to say.
Yeah.
Like when
But
my
here
mom asked me, what
is
did
not
you class tonight?
supporting answer choice C.
Yes, excellent. And then why is D wrong?
Attempting to prove a claim on the basis of evidence that a number of people hold the claim to be true. Here, there is no evidence of number of people holding any claim.
Attempting to prove a claim on the basis of we don't. Yeah. So when does this happen, or what does this look like? Does anybody know? Nilo, do you know? Like, what would D look like if this was the correct, like, not even in this, like, just can you give an example of this?
Let me think about it.
Oh, sorry.
I guess it would, I'm not sure, would it be like something related to like a numbers type of like stimulus, like a survey or like some type of thing where maybe like 10 people said that they think something's right, and then the author is trying to like base their claim on that?
Not exactly. Does anybody else have a different idea? You're not way off, Nilo, but I think there's like a more obvious example of it.
Nicole, would it be if they outright said that we're ordering the eggplant because we don't like to eat potatoes? Or like just any reason where someone outright says the claim that they don't like to eat potatoes?
So it would be more so if we said everybody at that table or everybody in the restaurant last night didn't like potatoes, therefore our patrons prefer not to eat potatoes. Would be like the only way I can think of to make our stimulus work. But a better example would be like if I said a number of people say we've never landed on the moon. So 1 million people believe that we in the world believe we've never landed on the moon. Therefore, we've never landed on the moon. Even though a large number of people believe that, our only evidence is that a large number of people believe it. That doesn't guarantee it's true, right? I mean, think about religions. How many people, there's millions and millions of people that are in different religions and they all think their religion is true. Like, I can't just say, well, this many people believe in this religion, therefore this religion is for sure true, right? And so that's the flaw there. And then why is E correct? Malika, Nagin? Nagin, sorry. Can you go ahead and, you're actually my friends. I feel bad that I don't know your last name. Can you go ahead and explain why E is correct?
Well, they're only treating one possible explanation, which is preferring not to eat potatoes as the only option. And I think, as someone said, they could be choosing not to eat potatoes because they're vegan or for any other varying reason other than not liking potatoes.
Rockstar. Look at that. So that's how we take our predictions and find that in the answer choice. All right, so I can keep going for at least like another 20 minutes and I can. However, let's take like a 2-minute side break. Does anybody have any questions because they need to leave that they would like to be asked? And then we can go back to diving into flaw questions. If people don't have flaw questions, then we can just continue, or don't have specific big picture questions, we can keep going automatically.
I have.
Actually, I'm gonna stop it and restart.